Ignite Your Life for Life begin? It started with one woman's mission to uplift and empower. In 2017, Dr. Lotus Richer founded the Lotus Richer Ignites Corporation, a movement of coaching, training, and transformation. From that foundation, Ignite Your Life for Life was born. A summit, a community, a life-changing experience. We've been graced by powerful voices, thought leaders, wellness experts, financial mentors, and transformational speakers who have helped millions ignite purpose, resilience, and joy for life. This summit isn't just a one-time experience. It's a catalyst for lifelong growth. Here, you'll gain practical tools for real life. From your health and mindset to finances and relationships. You'll get connected with a supportive community that sees you, hears you, and walks with you. You'll leave recharged, motivated, and equipped with the tools to take on life, not just today, but every day. Join changemakers, survivors, advocates, and visionaries for a summit that sparks healing, hope, and unstoppable purpose. It's time to ignite something powerful from the inside out. The Ignite Your Life for Life is more than an event. It's a global movement. A call to raise awareness, support entrepreneurs and communities around the world, and help those who feel stuck find freedom. Your brand can be part of this positive change. Come to be seen. Come to be heard. Come to be inspired. Come to be the change. Are you ready to ignite your life for life? Stay tuned. Visit our website or scan the QR code to know more.
Woo, 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 woo! Come on, let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. Wow, it has been a marvelous year this year. And we wanted to take this time, the Ignites team, the team that helped put together the Ignite Your Life for Life Summit. And as the year draws near to a close, we'd like to take this opportunity to not only thank you all, and we'd like to gift you all with a wonderful opportunity that we have had throughout the year to say thank you to so many, to work with so many amazing men and women all around the world. So let's pause for a moment and breathe. And set our sights on what's ahead. You're invited to Ignite Your Life for Life. It's a year in review. And in this review, it's a soul-centered summit designed to help you release what no longer serves you and to set boldly and move into action into your next chapter. This free virtual gathering brings together an inspiring circle of transformational leaders, coaches, and visionaries that can help guide you, your friends, your family, and even your frenemies through reflection, renewal, and clarity of your purpose. The one purpose that the Most High Source has given you. And you know what? Together, we're all gonna honor an incredible year this year by raising awareness around autism. We did that this year in March. We shared real vital knowledge about what it means to have autism, what some of the families go through. We shared about domestic violence in miraculous ways. We even had a person in Africa share with us live for the first time ever in her life about the domestic violence that she had faced. And she shared how she was able to overcome because of all of you the Ignite Your Life for Life speakers that were present, not just speaking in the room, but that were in the room or watching from all over the world. She felt free and she felt safe. And I thank you for making that possible. In June, it was miraculous. And recognizing both the vulnerability and strength, it took us through that hot summer, right? And then in September, we were wild in Patterson, New Jersey. And we thank you, Patterson, New Jersey. And we thank you, the Patterson Public Library. Because in September, when men were able to exhale at the summit, when men exhale, it was life changing. It was myth breaking because a lot of the myths that we have is that men are not connected to their emotions, don't have emotional intelligence, but we know that's the furthest thing from the truth. And men are great, and we support then and we support now and always our men for them to have the possibility to exhale. And as you see my blouse, it says Ignite Your Life for Life Summit when men exhale. And we thank all the men and all the women that were there to support because the women came out from near and far. Dr. Bryant, Maxine Bryant flew all the way in just to be a part of it. And to my co-hosts, Miss Francesca Nunez and Coach T.O. Clay. They were a dynamic force to be reckoned with. The three of us came together and helped not just Patterson, New Jersey, but men all around the world that saw the event worldwide. And to our delegates from multiple parts of Africa that were there, we thank you and we salute you because without you, it may not have been possible. So, to our delegates, we can't wait to see you for our upcoming Ignite Your Life for Life Summit that will be holding in Africa. And I say, with a full heart of gratitude, thank you. Because this summit helped us to celebrate growth, resilience, and possibility. And today, we're here with you. And if you haven't shared this out, go ahead and share this out because now it's time to get the party started. So, with no further ado, again, we welcome you and we have some highlights for you. Ignite's team, take it away. Fantastic, magnificent, and thank you. So take this time to go ahead and take your phone, if you have your phone, and go ahead and share this with people you know. And then put in the chat who you're sharing this with and why you're sharing it. Because it's important that they know why you shared it. A lot of times we just share things, sometimes for the sake of sharing it. But let's share this with people to let them know all around the world how important it is. And so we'll be admitting people from time to time into this circle because there'll be some things going on in this circle, and only inside this Zoom will you be able to receive what's coming up, what's coming your way. So, with that being shared, let's talk about the March Summit. March Summit, we honored individuals with autism and those who supported them. And we had some dynamic speakers. All of the speakers were dynamic in their own special way. And Dr. Lawana Bradford, she helped to uh, open it up in such a dynamic way. And she talked about how to reposition to remain relevant in a changing market. Okay. A lot of us are still trying to figure that out. And so as we close the year out, we wanted to share that with you. If you're still trying to discover it, here's some ways that you can discover it. Ignite Team, take it away.
Lawana Bradford is a serial entrepreneur, global leader, and change agent. She is COO of the Bradford Group, a commercial and investment mortgage brokerage, and principal of the Bradford Group Consulting, a business management firm. She works with federal and private industries and small businesses to ensure that they remain relevant in ever-changing markets. She is a global strategy leader, Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner, serial entrepreneur, 5-time international best-selling author, and speaker. Please welcome Lawana Bradford. Yes!
Yes. How many of you are just sick and tired of change? Can I get a show of hands? Where it just seems like you're in a position, maybe not now, but maybe you've just recently come out of that tsunami-like change, where it's just wave after wave after wave hitting you, and you're wondering like, what the what? Has anyone been there besides me? Can I get a show of hands? Has anyone been there? Well, the one thing that we find is the thing that is constant is change. We can't get away from it in life or in business. We live long enough, we're going to face some changes. We stay in business long enough, we're going to face some changes. And the most challenging change are those that are unexpected. Changes like the pandemic, right? It was great one day, life, we're out there, we're celebrating with our friends, and next day, thing we know, we're in lockdown. Or right now, here in the United States, we've got crazy shifts happening, and no one knows what is going on because it's happening at rapid pace. But when you think about climatic change and tsunamis, they come that quickly. It's like the rug is instantly swept from under you. See, what I found out is Paul Laurence Dunbar, who was a poet from the 1800s, tells us that we wear the mask. Did you know that you all have a default mask when it comes to navigating change? There's 3 things that you tend to fall into, and sometimes you bounce on all 3. You can't figure out which mask to wear. Well, the first mask is that mask of petrification. You are frozen. You don't know what to do. Your mind is so cluttered, and you're just wishing, hoping, praying that it'll all just go away. Or perhaps you're in a state of denial. You're the ostrich. You put your head in the sand. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. And maybe when I finally get the courage to pull my head up, life will be back to normal. We've heard that a lot. It'll only be back to normal. Well, you know what? When change happens, it's like that rubber band that stretches. It's never going back to the original state. And you, if you're able to make it and navigate through that change, you become that much more expansive. It's a good place to be. But when you're going through it, it can feel like the dark night of the soul. The third mask is those of you that may be infected with the CLS, the Chicken Little syndrome. You are running around frenetically. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. And for you, it is. And if you notice all three, you're not moving. Or maybe Chicken Little, you're running around, but you're not going anywhere. There's no forward momentum. See, what I want to talk to you about is how to reposition to remain relevant. And repositioning is action-oriented. It's constantly changing. It's being creative and expansive. It's metamorphosizing it based upon whatever is happening in your business and in life. We never know what greatness is within us unless we tap into the seeds of genius in us. And how you crack that nut, how you create the germination process is with the advent of change. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. See, I have been blessed. I was blessed with the family I came from. I was blessed with the career choice that I made, following my dad's advice to do something in life that you love so much that you'd be willing to work for free and you'll never work a day in your life. I've done that consistently. I had the Midas touch. Everything I touched turned to gold. I built 2 multi-million-dollar businesses. Life was good until it wasn't. See, even though you may be golden, again, if you live long enough, if you've been in business long enough, there's going to be some changes that happen. Well, I'm in the mortgage business, commercial and investment mortgage brokerage. And my dark night of the soul occurred in 2007, 2008. How many of you remember, can I get a show of hands, remember what happened? Here in this country, that was the economic crisis. It was the biggest economic crisis since the Great Depression. Banks were failing. They were closing their doors. People were committing suicide. My brokerage partners were closing their doors to the right and left of me. I was terrified. I'm literally bouncing from CLS, ostrich, frozen, couldn't move. What the heck were we going to do? I knew we were in the right space, but everything around me was contradicting that. My brother at the time, who had started the business, the Bradford Group, had to make a decision that was best for he and his family, and so he left. I was left there with 13 employees. I thought, what are we going to do? Because overnight, we were doing so well to where we were barely making payroll. We could barely close a loan. So what I did, because I'm like, I didn't have the heart to let people go. I did what I tell people never to do. I robbed from my future to take care of my present. I began to draw down from that really nice retirement down to where it was $7,800. Well, I was married at the time, and my husband, you know, when there's a little chaos financially, it can create some challenges at home. Well, he told me to let the business go, and I said, no, I'm not. He left. I stayed. Another tsunami. So you're looking at my brother, the economic crisis, my brother leaves, my husband leaves, and then I still ended up having to let all of my employees go except my assistant because I couldn't pay them. I didn't know how I was going to keep the roof over my head, and I was so scared that I was going to be homeless. So I called mom and dad. They got deep pockets. So mom and dad said, well, we'll help you out, but we have to see some things. They literally got on an airplane, flew from Arizona to Atlanta, sat at the table and said, we need to see everything. We need to see what's coming in and what's going out. I said, I don't think you understood me. Nothing's coming in. And my dad said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure you have a roof over your head, food in your belly, utilities on, gas in the car. But that business is on you. Now, how many of you have been in a place where you've had to ask for help? And it's a little embarrassing and it's humbling, but you feel a little offensive when they're asking you for all your information. And my dad was like, if you need my help, you already put me in your business. I'm part of the formula for success. So my dad, who I just lost in September, was not only my best friend, he was my coach, mentor. And I had to trust what he was saying. And I had pretty confidence that, okay, they've got me on this side on my essential needs. I can take care of the business. So I'm moving on. But I didn't see the other wave coming. I was hit with the wave of a lawsuit. I was sued by one of the largest banks, Chase Bank. Now, what happened back then, it was a wild, wild west. Banks were failing, so they were calling things due. It didn't matter if you were a good client or not. They wanted their money and they wanted it now. I didn't have it. So I'm like, okay, well, fine, I'll go to court. I'm a fighter. And I called Dad. He helped me before. I knew he was going to help me again. He chuckled. He said, I hear you, daughter. He said, but I told you what I take care of. Roof over your head, lights on, gas in the car, food in your belly, but that business is on you. Whew, what the heck was I going to do? So I said, okay, fine. I don't look good in orange. I don't want to lose the house that I have. So I'm going to figure out how this is going to work. And sometimes we have to figure things out. But God always brings a ram in the bush, right? So he brought my business partner. We're still partners today, Rick Spann. And I asked him, what could I do? He had gone to law school, but chose not to be a lawyer. He said, I can teach you how to represent yourself in court. I don't know if you're going to win, but at least I can teach you what to do. So I said, hey, I'm open. So I studied and I studied. And again, this is showing you the importance of partnership, the importance of coaches and mentors in your life. Well, I'm happy to say that 2008, I was sued by Chase Bank. 2008, I stood in the courtroom. It's 2025, and the Bradford Group is still rocking and rolling, about to celebrate 19 years next month. So I'm feeling good, right? There couldn't be another episode, but there was. And it was the worst thing that had ever happened to me up until that point. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, all of this is happening within a 6-year time period. I received a cancer diagnosis. And I thought, I don't think I heard the C word. Can you say it again? Not only was I diagnosed with cancer, it was a rare cancer. It's a cancer that doesn't typically hit the African American community. It typically doesn't hit women. And they gave me a fourth thing, there's no cure. They started talking about life expectancy. And all I heard was, wah, 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 nothing else. I found myself back in that state of fear, bouncing from petrification, denial, Chicken Little. And I had to sit and think, okay, all my life as a strategist and a financial analyst, I've worked with billion-dollar companies, and I've shown them how to navigate through crises. How can I take that same talent and now navigate in my life and navigate in my business? And that's where the reposition to remain relevant, this R3 system, was born. And it enabled me to realize that I first had to refocus, reframe, and then reconnect. Now, refocus, most people think that has to do with mindset. It has nothing to do with mindset. It has everything to do with awareness. Where are you sitting at this point in time? Where do you sit within your industry? Who are the partners and allies that you have within your industry? What are the products and services that you're offering in your industry? Are they relevant? Are they meeting the needs that people have today? Have you identified who your clients are? Or are you just hoping that someone's going to come to you? You know, the build a plane and they'll build a field and they'll come mindset. Or are you being very strategic? I realized that it was important for me to understand my seat of dominion. Where did I dominate? And then said, now let me translate that to me, to my personal. So I'm going to keep talking to you from the business lane and then echoing it with the personal. So personally, you tap into your divine genius, gifts, and talents that God has given you. You refine and define what that purpose is. You make sure that it's echoed in whatever faith that you're touching. If it's the Bible, if it's the Quran, there's something that is echoing back what you believe is your purpose and your why. We heard that earlier. Then you're looking around you. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Making sure, we heard this too, that you're getting rid of that toxic energy, that stinking thinking that may be coming from other people telling you what you can do or what you can't do. You're pulling yourself from the impressions that people have placed on you, and you're rising up and tapping into your unique place in creation. Then it's all about reframing. So we said refocus, reframe. With reframing, that's where you realize that you were created as an architect. See, Martin Luther King Jr. challenged us to come up with our life's blueprint. He challenges us, even today, to design and frame our life. See, with reframing, it's not adopting to someone else's paradigm of what you should be. It's not picking up what mom and dad said, this is the way things have always been. It's shaking that off and saying, okay, how do I want my life to look? What do I want to do? What are going to be the rules of engagement? Who's going to be on this playing field that I have shaped, that I have designed, that I have customized for myself? You do that in business when you're looking at perhaps it's product positioning, it's looking at emerging markets, it's looking at new strategies. And then with your personal life, it's what fits for me. Who am I? And how do I want to be this expressive, expansive being in the world? That's the reframing. Take some time. It's not overnight. Then the next is reconnect. And reconnect for me was the hardest, because when you've been beaten, broken, dejected, rejected, feeling like I'm all alone, am I blue? I'm so blue. You don't have the confidence and the self-worth talk to step back on the playing field that you just designed. That's pretty sad, right? So you have to find a way. That's the mindset piece. People often think mindset comes first. Awareness comes first. Mindset then is like, okay, I realize what I'm supposed to do. I've designed the lane. Now I'm going to pepper my mind with the right thoughts, with the positive thoughts, with the energetic thoughts, with the confidence building thoughts. That's going to enable me to go from sideline to in the playing field, where I am going to work full out, not with intention. People always say, set the intention. I challenge you. Intention comes with excuses. I intended to, but this happened. I intended to, but that happened. Any excuse will do. But when you are committed, when you are tapped in, tuned in, and turned on, as Abraham Hicks says, for what you were supposed to do, for your purpose, knowing that it was designed for this point in time to touch the people that only you can touch, realizing that no one is in your lane but you, and if there's someone in your lane that you don't want, you bless and release them. When you own it, it's expansive. It's powerful. It's where we all are supposed to be, no matter where you are in life, no matter your background, no matter your age. We are meant to be victorious. We all have a mark to make, and it's meant to be indelible. I read something a long time ago. It said, if you are not willing to stand up and applaud yourself, how dare you expect the world to stand up and applaud you? You have to first believe in you. You have to first show up for you, and God will do the rest. I'm Alana Bradford with the Bradford Group. Thank you so very much for having me. And I just want to leave you with one lasting thought. When you refocus, reframe, and reconnect, refocus with purpose, reframe with precision, reconnect with power, then and only then will your vision intersect with opportunity, and success will be inevitable. Blessings. Thank you again.
Wow. Dr. Lawana Bradford always brings power. She packs amazing power in all that she says and all that she does. And we thank you, Dr. Lawana Bradford, for being a magnificent part of the Ignite Your Life for Life Summit this past year. Let's now talk about June. June's summit raised domestic violence awareness. It highlighted a diverse array of speakers. And I had the amazing pleasure of having a dynamic woman right by my side to help share in the glory, if I will say, of changing lives. And that was none other than Madam Francesca Nunez. Hey, Francesca, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Very emotional. That woman, ooh, powerful, powerful. I loved everything she said. I actually quoted some of the stuff she said yesterday and this morning, and I was like, that just blew my mind. That just blew my, and that C word.
Yes.
She's just a warrior.
Yes, she is amazing.
They don't claim that.
Yeah, she's just amazing. And you were amazing. And I gotta tell you, the summit in June for the domestic violence raising awareness, you really came in and you were a powerhouse. And I know a lot of people that connect with you, they know a bit about what you do. And before we go on to hear from our dynamic speaker, Jerron Walters, I'd like you please to share a bit about what you do and how you do it.
Oh, thank you, thank you. With a lot of passion, I really do. It's not for me, because I turned my pain to purpose, and now it's not about me. It's about helping others. Like she just said, reconnect with their life. That there's hope. It doesn't end there, and not to stay stuck. Just move forward. I did it, and I'm the best version of myself right now. And I know if I can do it, someone else can do it too. So it's not about me anymore. It's not about me anymore. And I'm honored that I had did that with you in June, because there was a lot of takeaways, a lot, and I learned too. So it was a learning experience for me too. I just love you, lady. I just love you
back. Love you so much. So with no further ado, we're going to present to you Mr. Jerron Walters, who was one of the highlight speakers at our event, Raising Awareness for Domestic Violence. And he spoke about best method to your greater self. Ignite family, take it away.
Jerron Walters. Jerron Walters, also known as JL the Genius, the author of Profit Funnels, empowers entrepreneurs to create assets that are impactful and immortal, which allow them to experience time freedom, convey their life's mission in an unforgettable manner that encourages others to follow their lead, and collect the revenue, resources, and respect that they deserve. Please welcome Jerron Walters.
Wow, wow, wow. How do you follow up after all those amazing speakers? She set me up for this. It was a setup. But man, it's so much power in our pain. There's so much power in our pain. And that's what today made me really realize. And me being a young Black male, I wasn't necessarily in a domestic dispute, but domestic violence does affect you directly as well as indirectly. And so I remember, I don't know if it was Coach Steph, it was somebody that was talking about well, a lot of people talked about their childhood, but I was one of those kids. I remember it was just a regular night one night, and I grew up in a single parent household. It was just my mother. She took care of me and my sister. And I would always see, multiple boyfriends and spouses in and out the house. Over the years. And this one night, it was regular. We had to go to bed at a certain time. And so, we took a bath, took a shower, got into our rooms. was ready to wind down, and as we were relaxing, about to go to sleep, next thing I know, I hear this loud banging and glass, breaking and a bunch of loud noise. And I hear a man say, "Ah," like he just was screaming. So I woke up out of my sleep, and I went to go into the living room and to check to see what was going on. And it was not only my mother, but it was another friend of hers and her spouse. And I guess what turns out what happened was that the lady came into the house, as we were in our rooms as kids, so we didn't see it. But from what I was told, she came into the house, she put a pot on the stove, put some water in the pot, and then she just turned it all the way up. So as they're having conversation, as they're talking out in the living room, this water is boiling in the kitchen. And so, I guess it went from just them having a conversation to, them having an argument, them having a disagreement. It was getting louder and louder. And what I found out was that at a point in time, the lady, she grabbed the pot of boiling water and she dumped it on this man's face and started hitting him with the pot. And now this is when I hear all the glass breaking. I hear everything going on at this point in time. I'm like, what is going on? I didn't know what was going on. So when I came out, the police were there. My mom, she made the lady leave. And I see this man's face just melted. Like he was a handsome brother, but his face was entirely melted from the boiling water. And I think that was my first memorable experience of a domestic dispute. And so as a child, that I didn't really understand how that would affect me growing up until I got to like high school years later. So another situation was where, I was an athlete. I played basketball, and I was the one who always had the car. I was picking teammates up, dropping them off. And so one day, as I'm dropping one of my teammates off, one of my friends, we lived in the projects at the time. So it was real small, but it was open where you could see what's inside the projects. And so we're driving, and I'm about to drop him off. Next thing you know, he's like, "Man, is that your mom over there?" I'm like, what you talking about? So I look over to the right, and my mom has a knife, and she's literally about to go, like she was about to stab this man, or I didn't know what was going to happen. All I knew at that time was I need to turn around. I got to go get involved and stop her from going to prison because it could get that bad.
Yeah.
So I busted a U-turn real quick, got over there. I'm like, "Man, what's going on, Mom? What's going on?" And she was mad at the guy for cheating. And I was like, I'm like, "Calm down. You don't want to, it's not worth it. You don't want to put yourself in this situation." And so I was finally able to kind of snatch the knife from her. I couldn't do it directly. So I had to come from the side of her and kind of, me and my friend grabbed her arm so I could take the knife. It was like one of those short knives. And that was the second experience. And it was traumatic. I was embarrassed. I was like, man, how could this be happening in front of all of these people? And this is my mother. Like, I couldn't believe it as a teen. And so I didn't know how I was indirectly affected. All I knew was that I didn't want to go that route. I didn't want to be in situations to show my kids unhealthy relationships. And I had to realize that once I started dating, like I would, start being rude to my girl, or I would flash out and do things. And I'm like, why am I doing this to her? Like, why am I saying this to her? And it was all of that trauma as a child. And so I had to snap out of that and realize, like, look, I want kids. I want a healthy family. I want healthy relationships. I cannot be that person. I have to level up. I have to change. I have to be better so I can show my mom and my sister how to be better, what a real man is supposed to look like. And so I did my reality check, and that's what kind of is bringing me to the point today, talking about the best method, right? The best method to leveling up, the best method to your next life. I think that those traumatic experiences helped me kind of go in this direction. And then I'm gonna give you this last story before I break down the best method. It was one of my favorite cousins. I remember when I got the call. The day before we were on FaceTime, and he had just made some money. Like, cuz, yeah, we making money now. You know, I'm not in the same position. I'm like, oh, that's great, cuz, that's awesome. The next day, I get a call from his mom, and she's like, yeah, O'Shea's gone. He passed away. I'm like, what? What do you mean he passed away? She's like, his girl stabbed him in the chest, and it hit the soft spot of his chest, and it hit the bottom of his heart and the top of his lung. And my favorite cousin, guys, bled to death and suffocated in his own blood at the age of 26. This man had 4 children. This man had a child every year in high school. So to talk to a person every day and then go to a point where they're no longer here because of this situation is one of the reasons why I wanted to speak, because it's a very, very important situation. And basically, like I said, there's a lot of power in our pain, right? So I want to kind of shift from just the pain perspective, and I want to empower us, and I want to move us to power. So I have some affirmations that I created. I want you guys to say these with me. I'm just going to go over 10 of them, right? And this is for anybody out there who feels like, just feel defeated. You feel like the victim. You feel like you don't know how to get out of this situation, or you don't feel respected. You don't feel worthy. And so I want to just go over 10 affirmations. So I'm going to say the first one, and I want you guys to repeat after me. Is that okay? That sound pretty easy?
Yep. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So the first one is now, and we'll disclaimer. When we say this, we have to say it like we really mean it, because when you put out that energy and those intentions into the world, it starts to come back in some type of form. So you're not just saying it's like, oh, I'm saying it because he wants me to say it. No, we're going to say this like we really are invested and we really believe in this. Okay. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. All right. So the first one, I am worthy of love, safety, and respect.
I am worthy of love and respect.
Awesome. What happened to me does not define who I am.
What happens to me does not define who I am.
I have the right to set boundaries and protect my peace.
I have the right to protect my peace.
Each day I grow stronger, braver, and more resilient.
Each day I grow stronger, braver, and more resilient. That part.
I deserve to live a life free from fear and harm.
I deserve to live a life free from fear and harm.
My voice matters, and I will use it to heal and be heard.
My voice matters, and I will use it to heal and heard.
There we go. We got 3 more, guys. I want to do 3 more with you. I am not to blame for someone else's abusive behavior.
I am not to blame for someone else's behavior. Yes.
I am reclaiming my power one step at a time.
I am reclaiming my power one step at a time.
I am not alone. There is support and love around me.
I am not alone. There is support
around me.
Let's go. Now give yourself some hands. Give yourself some hands. Let's go. So we are moving from that pain, and we are moving into our power. So this is something that I created. It's called 4 Steps to the Best Life, the best version of yourself. And we all want to be the best versions of ourselves, no matter what we go through in life, right? And so the B, I'm going to start off with the B. The B stands for believe. You really have to believe that everything we just said, all those affirmations, all of what the speaker said, you have to believe you can overcome your trauma. You have to believe you are better than your situation, right? And what is belief? What is belief really? Belief is not just saying, yeah, I believe this. No, believe is an action word. And when I first understood this, I was at a conference and I was listening to a speaker's name was Myron Golden. And he was up on stage. He had 5 people come on stage. And he was like, all right, guys, I'm going to hold up this money. I want you to say something. I want you to say, I believe people like to pay me. So he had first person said it. I believe people like to pay me. He did it for all 5 people, right? And he took out $100 bill. And he's waving it around. He's like, all right, guys, what's the affirmation? And said, I believe people like to pay me. I believe people like to pay me. So he's waving the money in front of this crowd. And nobody's doing nothing except for this one lady. This one lady finally stopped talking and she grabbed the money. She snatched the money out of his hand. So he was like, a true believer. And that's when it hit me. Belief is not about the words that we say and what we use. Belief is about the actions that we take to change our lives. And so this is why this is the biggest hurdle for a lot of people. And this is the first step because it's the most important step. This is the hardest step to do. I think Marlon mentioned earlier, we're in a society that is not set up for us to win. It's not set up for us to believe in ourselves. It's not set up for us to empower ourselves. So we have to reclaim that belief and actually do the things to make us that person who we want to become so we can overcome anything, any obstacle that faces us, right? So once we get the B down, the next step is, does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? Okay, I want to make sure that makes sense. The next step after believe is the E, the education. We have to educate and execute on our beliefs, right? And educate ourselves, meaning what are the resources that we can connect with? Who are the people that I need to talk to? What are the communities and groups that I need to be in? Educate yourself about a situation, like educate yourself about red flags. What are the red flags that show me that this person can be abusive? Are they first denying all my ideas? Are they first, kind of shoving me and trying to play fight? What are those indicators that let you know, like, this person may be abusive in the future? Of course, they want it to look pretty, and I don't know who said this earlier. They want to be that knight in shining garment when you first meet them, because that's how they get in. Once they get in, get comfortable, kick their feet up, take the shirt off, take the belt off, the belly starts popping out. Now they're their real selves because they got to that stage where they're comfortable. We don't want that in our lives. We deserve to have the best, so we're going to become our best selves so we can attract the best. So educating ourselves about the resources available are what's going to get us to that next level. And then it goes from the E to the S. The S is starting and staying consistent. So whatever it is, whether it's starting to hang around a group of women who are supportive or a group of males who are supportive, whether it's starting to have a podcast and start talking about that and stay consistent with that and being able to help others with your words, right? That's the starting phase, but it's crucial because you have to stay consistent as well. And then you go to the T, and that's the transformation. That's when you go from I was this to I am this. That's when you have that leap, right? And that's when you can change from being a victim to being a victor in your life, in any area of your life. And so I just want to recap these 4 steps. And I want you guys to remember these by heart. B is for believing yourself. The E is for educating yourself. The S is for starting and staying consistent. And the T is for transforming into that person you deserve to be so you can attract who you are in your life. I appreciate you guys for being here. It was an amazing experience. Thank you to all of the incredible speakers. Thank you to Dr. Lotus Richey and the team. I'm J.L. the Genius, and I would love to serve you guys any way I can, and I can't wait for the Q&A. God bless you.
Woo-hoo! Come on, y'all. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. That was great. Best method to your greater self. It's not always easy to be the best version of who you are. It's not always easy to understand how to get there and what to do, not only once you're there, but to stay there. In September, we traveled to Paterson, New Jersey at a time when uh, we were leaving Kansas. My father-in-law had been hit by a car and it was devastating. And can you imagine how we were leaving, coming back to Washington, D.C., landing, packing up, and then driving all night to Paterson, New Jersey for When Men Exhale? I got to tell you, I needed to exhale. It was a tough task, but we made it happen. And Angie was right by my side, helping to exhale. So Angie, how was that for you to travel and to really exhale yourself and prepare to help men exhale?
You know, it was a great experience. It was a stressful 2 months to be with Dad, but we got to see him transform and start to become the better self. We also attended a summit there in Kansas City,
Yes.
and we had a chance to kind of pre-exhale before our exhale
Right.
summit, right, with the men.
Right. With the BTBY,
And
with Brenda Ringwood and so many
yes,
others, and Terrence Lethbridge.
yes, it was.
Yeah, it was great.
And then to pack up and head over to New Jersey and prepare for a wonderful event. You know, at first I think I was a little skeptical because I wasn't at any of the planning meetings. I only heard it from behind the scenes, you know, hearing the details. And here I was, you know, to assist with putting on such a big project that you had prepared for months in advance.
Mhm.
But I saw things unfold